Okay, so we are recording. We are on Facebook, and I'm not going to, well, first of all, let me say, if you don't know who I am, I'm Debbie Kaner-Goldich, and I'm the International President of Women's League. There are a few people here that I know your name, but I don't know you. And for those of you that I know, I'm so happy to share and spend Hanukkah with you. Chag Sameach, it's wonderful to be together. So many of our Women's League sisters have not been well this week, and we're just so happy that you're with us, Refuah Shlema. And we want to thank Grace for bringing this wonderful program to us tonight. Many of you know that every year we light candles together, and that's a wonderful opportunity for us to share the holiday and to be together. So I'm not muting because I will be lighting the candles and saying the blessings, but I hope that you will sing them with me. And if you've lit candles before tonight, if you're a place where you've already lit them with your family, that's okay. But I do appreciate so many of you being with us tonight. I think it says 55, and my laptop is far away from my Hanukkah, and I hope you can hear me. So, okay, Rabbi, are you going to unmute? And for those of you who don't know, this is Rabbi Ellen Wollens-Fields, and Rabbi Ellen is our Executive Director of Women's League.
Hello.
So if you've never met us, that's who we are.
Some after everybody. I'm in my daughter's dorm room at Hopkins University on our way to Florida. So, so sorry, I got stuck in the rain too. But happy Hanukkah to everybody.
Okay, so we're all set. We're going to light candles, yes?
Yes.
And I really do hope that you will all sing with me.
I'm muted, so.
Baruch atah
Adonai
Eloheinu
Olam Ber Kiddishanu B'mitzvotav Tzivanu Lahadlik Ner Shel Hanukkah Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asani Avoteinu Hayamim Ohem Azman Hazeh
Chag Sameach.
Hag Sameach.
Debbie's gonna share her screen, and we're gonna sing together.
Oh, how nice.
Wait, before you do that, I have a question. You know I'm an experience. I thought I was supposed to have 5 candles.
You do.
What's your shamus?
This is my shamus in the middle.
Yes.
Okay, so
And
this
then
stays
5
lit.
So there's my 5, and this is my shamus.
So your
Right.
shamus stays lit.
So
Every-
you take that one and you light the newest candle for the 5th night first with the shamus, and then you go down the line.
Thank you for your patience.
So my shamus, you can't really see my menorah, but it's only about a half an inch or a quarter of an inch higher than the rest of the candles, just because that's the way the menorah is. But in many other Hanukkah, Geraldine, the shamus is higher, so that you recognize it and know it's there.
Got it.
Yours is just a little higher there.
Mine's just a little higher.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's fine.
Debbie Lempert.
Good.
Ooh.
You have words.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you will sing nice and loudly with me for these Hanukkah songs. The first one tune I want to share with you, we'll do the regular, well-known Maltzor, and then I would like to share a different version with you. Maltzor Yeshuati
Irati
And during the beginning of COVID, maybe in the heart of COVID during the lockdown, Toby Holtzman, my Tefillah co-chair, partner in crime, she and I took an online PUTeam class, thanks to Women's League, with a wonderful singer in Israel. She plays beautiful guitar, and she is a real leader in PUTeam. And she taught us many songs. None of them had music. It was just words, and we had to try to recorded them. There's only one that really stuck, and that was this beautiful Malachor she taught us.
Debbie, I'm going to mute everyone now because so they can hear you, okay? We're not singing together. When we sing together, we'll unmute everybody.
Ma'otzor Yeshuoti Lechana Elishabeach Tikon Beit Tefilati Vesamto Dan Izabeach Le'etachin Matbeach Mitzar Hamnabeach Le'etachin Matbeach Mitzar Hamnabeach Azegmor Beshir Mizmor Azegmor Beshir Mizmor Hanukkah HaMizbeach. So thank you, Women's League, for allowing me to learn that new version. And I have one more for you.
Beautiful, Debbie.
Thank you. I bet many of you know this one in English. Oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Come to our party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Dreidels to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. Oh, I have one more. This is Sevivon. Hopefully you know this one. Sevivon, sof, 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 Hanukkah hu chag tov, Hanukkah hu chag tov, Sevivon, sof, 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 Hag simcha ula'am, nes gadol hayasham, nes gadol hayasham, Hag simcha ula'am. And I'm sorry that the Hebrew, I didn't realize, didn't match the transliteration. This obviously came from Israel. Nes gadol haya po. I was looking for, it's very hard sometimes to find Hebrew, the actual Hebrew on the internet. So you got to see what it would look like in the Israeli version and in the everybody outside of Israel.
So let's just explain that. So sham means there and po means here. So the Israelis say that the great miracle happened here, and that's why it says po. So thank you, Debbie. Can we do that again? Can everybody unmute and we can sing the dreidel song together? Sure. Okay.
You can pick whichever one you want, the English, the American, or the Israeli. Sevivon, sof, 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 Hanukkah hu chag tov, Hanukkah hu chag tov, Sevivon, sof, 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 Hag simcha ula'am, nes gadol hayasham, nes gadol hayasham, Hag simcha ula'am.
Can we now sing the English?
Sure.
Okay, let's get in the spirit of it.
That's other dreidels.
I have to say the English, this is the actual translation. There was another English translation that is more rhymey,
Okay.
but this was the literal. Dreidel spin,
spin,
spin, spin,
spin.
Hanukkah is a great holiday.
Hanukkah
is a great holiday. Dreidel spin,
spin, spin.
a holiday of
Happiness, it is for the nation. A great
miracle
happened
there, a holiday.
here.
Happiness is for the nation. It
Oh,
doesn't work so well.
Cacophony.
If I knew you wanted it in English, I would have put the other one up, but I wanted you to see what it actually means.
Great. And we appreciate that you made these beautiful slides.
Oh.
Debbie, you made these beautiful slides and thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And so it's wonderful to be together and to sing a little bit and have some joy and bring light into the world. So we thank you. So now we're moving on to our sip and paint. Grace, I'm going to call on you. Grace Schessler.
Hi, everybody.
You know what, Grace, let me mute everyone for a minute and then you might have to unmute, okay?
Boy, do we want?
Okay. Oh, no, please do not spotlight me tonight. I'm recovering from COVID, everybody. So thanks for joining us. It's so nice to be together. If you're staying on for the paint portion, we're going to begin that in a few minutes. I'm looking for Nikki to see if she's on yet so I can introduce her. But Nikki is from, oh wait, did I see you? No? Is it, just give me 1 second.
No, she's not on yet, Grace.
I just spoke with her. I think that the little bit of confusion because we thought maybe it would be closer to 7:30, but she's
Okay. We can fill.
yeah,
She's good at that.
She has her own company called Paint With Me, and she's going to lead us in this beautiful painting of a window with a Hanukkah in it. I apologize if you're one of 2 who did not receive your kit on time. It's the U.S. Postal Service. So it would have been a Hanukkah miracle if we all got them on time, that's for sure, right? So not on.
Okay. Is there anyone here who did not get their kit? Okay, great. So we will, one person of the 2, we got her a kit and the other person will have to figure that out. And, but glad to know that some people got them. Okay.
Yeah, so actually I'd like to thank Debbie for bringing this program to my attention because I think that Nikki's done work with Shasheret before, and that's how we came to Paint With Me. So I think you'll have a nice time. She has a wonderful manner and she'll be with us any moment.
So for those of you who read Women's League Week and the program of the week, that comes from Grace. Grace is an international vice president and she collects the programs and she puts them on Women's League Week. And they're also cataloged on our website. So if you are the person in charge of programming in your sisterhood, please feel free to go to the website, find a program, use it, look at the ones that are listed every week on Women's League Week. And if you have a wonderful program that you think would be other sisterhood affiliates would like to use, please send them to me or to Grace and Grace will publish it. I do that all the time. Things come across my computer from other organizations and I forward it to Grace and say, oh, this looks good, or this is a good idea. So if you have a wonderful program like that, please share with us because those are the kinds of programs that our sisterhood affiliates love to participate in. And this came to us because you're right, it was on a program with Shasheret. So thank you, Grace, for posting those programs on Women's League Week every week and on the website. And It makes it easy. Makes it easy.
I
Those are
love
the-
when you send me ideas. I love when anybody sends me ideas. It's hard to think of and come up with new things every week. But sometimes it's something that you could do on your own. I have something coming that's going to be put in right in after New Year's, that it's something that you might want to register for yourself, you know, just to join a program that your sisterhood might not want to do. And sometimes there are other things to fill your days and nights with as well.
We do post a lot of educational programs, adult education from other organizations that you can participate in. So the other thing I'd like to say is if you have a few minutes now and you'd like to go pour yourself a cocktail or a glass of wine, this would be the right time to do that while we get ready with painting.
Yes, I see Nikki has joined us, so let's give.
Okay, very good, Grace.
We're ahead of schedule, but I do see our beautiful artwork that you are all going to create. I'm so happy that so many are with us. I'm sure that we'll be able to spotlight Nikki so that you'll be able to see a bigger, larger version of what she's.
Karen can do that now, as soon as she finds her.
Oh. Karen's on it. She's the one who told me she was logged on. Oh, wow, those are okay. I'm going to move all of you out of the way. So to quote my very dear friend Terry Fields, who's on here, there's no wrong in art, right, Terry? So yours might not look exactly like this, but it's going to be beautiful. Okay.
Hi.
Nikki, you are spotlighted and a co-host if you need to be.
I do. That's amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, and I'm sorry that I rushed you at the end. We are ready.
First of all, hi everyone. I'm Nikki. Thank you, Grace. Thank you all for coming to paint with me. I'm sorry. I thought the whole program started at 7:30 and I wanted to be here for candle lighting and singing. And I'm sorry, I may have misread the flyer. So I'm sorry about that. So we are ready to get started. A few things before we get started. First, happy Hanukkah. Your kit has your paints, your brushes, your smock, your canvas. I assume everyone has those out and ready-ish. So if you haven't yet opened your paints, there's just like a little plastic tab that you have to open each of them, give them a little bit of a shake. And just so you know, before we get started, you have enough paint to take on a new hobby. The amount that you have is not for one painting. You're going to squeeze a small amount of each color and take more as needed. So just in case you find yourself wanting to paint again, you'll have your paints and your brushes ready. The paint that we're using is acrylic paint and it does stain. I am saying that at the beginning in case you are wearing your favorite anything and you want to go grab something else to put on. Having said that, it is not a messy activity. I just say it because accidents do happen. If you are working over carpet, please be extra careful, unless of course you want to change the carpet. So that's that part. For those whom have not done an event like this before, step-by-step directions end with a masterpiece. Of course, we have our Hanukkah painting tonight, where our moonlit sky with our house curtains. We'll talk about how you can make it your own. I'm going to guide you step by step, but of course, at any point you want to change something, change colors, add a design, whatever it is, it's going to be in your home. You can make it your own. And we will be working with 3 brushes tonight. You should also have a paper towel handy. You can squeeze your paint onto either a paper plate or a piece of cardboard or whatever you like. And I'm going to give you another minute and then we will get started. Okay, is everybody ready? You can give me like a thumbs up on your. Okay, thank you, Eileen. Okay. We are ready to go. So we are starting with our broad or our thicker brush. Is everyone ready? Are we good to go?
You can unmute yourself if you'd like to say something. We're going to be a smaller group now. Some of the people who were on for candle lighting will be logging off. So you can, of course, we want to hear. Not ready. So
I am unwrapping my canvas
No problem.
and going to find cardboard or something to put my paint on.
Okay. So while we're doing that, one more thing, is everybody comfortable? I do take pictures and videos from this end for social media. Is everybody comfortable being posted on social media? If anyone's not, you could send me a message. I think I'll be able to see the chat. Yeah.
So do you want us to choose 3 colors? Is that what you
No,
said?
you're gonna put a small amount of each color on your plate or your paper towel, your
Okay.
cardboard, whatever it is.
I hope I'm not holding everyone up.
Hi, Grace.
I did not
It's
know.
Marion Tully.
oh, hi.
After all that, I didn't get my kit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And I got charged twice too. Besides,
We'll work it out. We'll work it out.
I feel terrible because I really wanted to paint. Oh, well, I'll just watch.
Marion, do you have anything? Do you have pencils or crayons, or people have markers? People have joined and used other
Yeah.
medium.
No.
I got all kinds of stuff.
You do?
Markers and stuff.
So go for it. You can take a piece of paper and markers. A lot of people, I've had people join in that weren't expecting to join, let's say at an event. So I know that wasn't the case with you, but if you want to choose something to use, you can.
Just take a piece of paper.
Yeah, you can even do it in pencil, and you'll see that. And I'll speak to you also if you decide to do it in pencil.
Got these colored pencils. Okay.
Should we also have a cup of water with us for this,
You can have a cup of water. I'm not going to be working with water the way that I work. I'll wipe my brush off on my paper towel, but you're home. You can, if you may want to switch colors, we'll talk about it. So yes, for sure, have your water handy.
okay, if you want it. Okay, thanks.
Okay, were the people who weren't ready?
Almost,
Okay,
almost. I got one more bottle to open up here.
so remember, you're squeezing out a small amount, like 2 teaspoons, let's say, not even, but just small amounts, and we'll talk about how we use the paint and all of that.
Okay. 2 teaspoons. Okay.
Good?
Okay.
Okay, so we are ready to go. So a few things before we actually paint. Your brush, this brush, the broad brush, and many brushes can be used more than one way. What do I mean by that? If you hold your brush the broad way, the thick way, I'm just going to show you with a little paint, you will get, I know it seems obvious, but it's things that I just want to review for people who haven't possibly painted since kindergarten, where if you hold your brush the broad way, you will get a broad stroke or a thicker stroke. If you hold your brush the narrow way, the sideways, the thin way, you will get a thin stroke. That's just like a little tips and tricks department because we will be using it. So just wanted to share that with you. Okay, we are ready to get started. The first thing that we're going to do, we are going to start with our moonlit sky. We are going to start with, oh, by the way, for those of you who don't understand this reference, good for you. For the rest of you, we understand each other. When you are taking paint on your brush, it is not like taking ice cream. And by that, I mean, we are not trying to get as much as we can on our brush, but rather we will go back for more as needed. And again, if you didn't get that, good for you. Okay, so we are ready to get started. We're starting with a dot. A dot means a small amount. The reason why I'm saying that is because, again, people tend to take a lot on their brush. So I just want to practice a little restraint. So we're using a small amount of blue on our brush. And the first thing we're going to do, we're putting in our moon. So I'm putting it like a little towards the right of my canvas, but You can put it anywhere. It can be in the center of the sky, wherever you decide that it is. So I'm going to start and I'm putting in my moon. I'm actually going to make it a little bigger than I anticipate wanting it, because what happens is as we move into the rest of the sky, somehow, sometimes the moon ends up a little bit kind of disappearing, if you know what I mean. As you start painting, things start getting smaller. You start using the paint. We're going to come back to this and fill it in with white after with the thinner brush. But for now, we're starting off with blue with the narrow side of the brush, putting in our moon for our moonlit sky. Once you have this in place, again, we're using that very small amount of blue. And what we're going to do is we're putting in the space for the curtain. And when we get to the curtain, we'll talk about how you can decorate it, make it match your home, change up the designs, etc. So I'm starting at approximately, these are approximate measurements. So in case there are any type A'ers in this crowd, if you must get your ruler, go for it. But I'm going to recommend that take the night off. Okay, so we are going in. I'm going to call it approximately 3 fingers in from the right, approximately 3 fingers in. And by that, I mean, I'm just giving myself a spot where I want the curtain to start, so to speak. Again, by the way, I repeat everything 2 to 3 times. So if you're the type of person that likes to listen the first time, process, and then do it the second time, you're in luck, because I'll be repeating myself. So again, 3 fingers in, I'm giving myself a little dot so that I know where I want to start. And I'm going to come down to approximately halfway. Again, it's an approximate measurement. And you will be able to go back later. The paint dries relatively quickly. So we're going to come in and we're going to come approximately halfway with what I'm going to call a bit of a sideways smile, right? Not the happiest smile you've ever seen, but like a bit of a sideways smile. And from just about where it ends, but just a little bit in, because we're going to put in that piece for the curtain. And then we're going to come down. We're going to make the bottom just a bit broader, longer, thicker, wider than the top bit. So for there, I'm going to come about 4 fingers in rather than 3. And I'm going to give myself a dot of paint so that I know where I want it to connect to. So I am coming in like so, and now I have my curtain in place. I'm going to take it from the top, and I'm going to go quickly. We started off with our moon circle outlined in blue. We're coming down about 3 fingers in, halfway, sideways smile, and then we're bringing the rest of that curtain down, bringing it out more like 4 fingers in width rather than 3, so that it's just a bit wider than the top of the curtain. Just so I know if we are all communicating. Hello, Ellen. Is it Ellen? Hi, Ellen. How are you? This is an interactive event. I don't know if anyone told you that. Can we see yours so far?
No.
Already?
It's really, I'm a little off on this, but go ahead.
Yeah.
This just ended up too small.
No, Ellen?
All right, all right, all right.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever.
Okay, we'll come back to you. Now I must come back to you later. Okay.
Sure.
We now have the beginning in place. We have our moon in place, etc. The next thing we're going to do, or the area around the moon is going to be slightly lighter than the rest of the sky, right? When the moon is out, the area around it has the halo of the moon. So we're starting off with our blue with a touch of white. And I'm still using blue with a small amount of white. I'm still using that narrow side of the brush, and I'm going to show you why. We want to keep a little bit of the streakiness in the sky. So I'm not mixing my blue and my white on my plate to give myself a light blue. I'm using them. I'm double loading my brush so that I have both colors on my brush at the same time, so that as I'm painting, I get that streakiness of the 2 colors being used at the same time. Having said that, if you lose the streakiness, we are going to go back later and add streakiness. This is just, if you want to try it, that's what we're going to do. So I'm starting off with my blue with my touch of white, and I'm going to start by coming around that moon. I'm using that narrow side for the first few revolutions so that I don't go into my moon. If you do, that's okay, because remember, we started out a little bigger than we want it to be at the end, and this is the reason why. Sometimes we end up going in. So I'm starting off, I'm doing about 3 revolutions-ish using the narrow side of my brush. I took blue with a small amount of white. And as you're starting, again, for people who have not painted in a while, you really don't need a lot of paint on your brush. And now is when you can decide the actual size you want the moon. And if you want to clean it up a bit, we'll still be able to do that later. But meaning if you became much less circular than you wanted, now is when you are going to use that narrow side. We'll come back again later with a thinner brush. So I use blue with a touch of white, and this is going to be the area around the moon. Approximately 3 narrow revolutions. Each time you go back to do the next revolution, you're going to overlap by a bit with what you've done already so that it doesn't look flaggish. By that, I mean, I don't want the whole thing to look like stripy. That's what I mean by flag. So I'm using that blue with that touch of white. And now I'm going to wait for everyone to get to the same point, and then we will move on. In the meantime, Julia, are you going to share as Ellen did? How are we going to work this? Julia, so far so gorgeous. Perfect. Okay, so far so good. I'm checking that the directions are working, that everyone's feeling comfortable.
What?
There's somebody.
Davening. They need to be muted.
We need to move that, Karen. Please.
They need to be muted.
Thank you.
I was just ready to join in.
Okay.
Okay, so now that we got paint on the canvas and we have the beginning rolling, before we move on, we are going to, in fact, get the frame of the canvas from the point of the curtain around the top and the frame on the side using blue and blue and white, whatever was left on your brush, and the bottom like so. So just so while you're doing this, I'm going to explain why we do it now. I'm doing this now. Well, first of all, I'm doing it period because I'm sure many of you are going to be getting them framed tomorrow, but for the rest of you, this way we'll have a finished look. That's 1. 2, the reason why we're doing it now at this point is in case while you're getting the frame, you get some of it on the canvas itself. I rather do the frame now so that when we're painting, we're going to lose those spots that accidentally got onto the front of the canvas. So I'm going to give you a minute or 2 or however long you need, and we're going to get the sides and the top of the canvas. I'm using blue with whatever white was left on my brush. Also, the reason why I'm doing it now is because as we move into like the darker areas of the sky, I'm getting rid of the white that was on my brush by using blue only on top of my white that I had on my brush. And we'll come back to the white still, but this way our brush will have less white on it so we can get darker and darker as we move away from the moon. So I use the gallery view to gauge when the brushes stop moving. So I will stop, believe it or not, I will stop talking for a second so that you can finish this part, and then I'll know when everyone or almost everyone are ready.
We're doing all 4 sides or just the top one?
So I'm doing the top up to the point of the curtain area. I'm doing this full side, the right full side, and the bottom to the curtain area also.
Oh, okay, because I accidentally went over. I realized. Don't worry about
Fine. These are the best accidents you could have, like probably in your life. First of all, the acrylic paints, just for a little information, they are very forgiving, which means that once they dry, it's harder to get rid of what you've done that you don't like while they're wet. But once they're dry, you can go over it. Sometimes if you're going over it with a lighter color, you might need a base coat where you'd go over it with white and then go over it again. But if you're going over with a darker color, you don't even need that with these acrylic paints. So you're in luck, Susan.
I don't know, thanks. It might take me a while though.
I'm sorry. I think I did the wrong sides. Can you say which sides you're supposed to do again?
Absolutely. But it's not like a wrong situation. I want everyone to understand this is not like that, because again, you can always go over it besides the fact that it's not wrong, but also you'll be able to go over it. So what I said was the curtain is here on the left side for me. I think for everyone, except that I do see sometimes the lefties do everything on the other side. Like it's a little study I've taken up silently since I do this. So we are doing the top to the right of the curtain, the top of the canvas. We are doing the right side of the canvas, and the bottom from also the right side of the canvas till the curtain. We're leaving the curtain side without paint. If you did paint it, again, very not a big deal.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, good. So it looks like we're just about ready to go on. I see the brush is slowing down. Okay, once we have the beginnings in place, the next thing that we're going to do, we're going to go a little bit darker on our sky so that as we're moving out into the rest of the sky. So I think
if you're still in your Amida, please continue and pick up on page 294.
So, sorry. So we all know that, or most of us know, and everyone's going to know in a minute, red and blue is purple. What you may not know is that blue with a touch of red is not going to go all the way to purple, but it's just going to give us a deeper, darker blue. So what I'm going to do here on my plate, I'm just going to take a little bit of blue, find a spot on my plate with a dot of red, a really small amount to start, and I'm going to mix those together to get a little bit of a deeper, darker blue. I think I need a little more red just to go really dark, like into that nighttime sky. And now I have, you can see, that's the blue without any red. This is the blue with a touch of red. I didn't take it all the way to purple, but I just made it a deeper, darker blue. I'm going to repeat that. We're moving out into the sky where it's a bit darker than right next to the moon. We're taking blue with a touch of red. We're not going all the way to purple, but we are making just a deeper, darker blue. So I'm going to give you a minute to get your desired color, and then we will move on. A little note for me, when I mix colors, I often end up with a lot of paint on my brush, just the way that I do it. So what I would suggest, if you also end up with a lot of paint, just going to scrape off some of that paint on the side of your plate so that you don't have a very, this is a very professional term, so you don't have a gloopy amount on your brush. Once you have that desired darker blue color, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to overlap by a bit. Again, I'm not looking for stripes, and we're going to come back to it so that we, even if we do end up with a little bit of a stripy feel, we're going to be able to go back and lose that stripiness. So I'm starting off with that small amount of my new deeper, darker blue color, and I'm going to overlap by a bit with that narrow side of the brush. I'm not doing full revolutions of my circles. I'm just coming out gently with that narrow side, going in a little bit into my lighter blue area, and then coming out past it so that I end up with that darker blue as I move away. But the area right where it meets the lighter blue, I want it to have more of a transition feel. I don't want it to look like it just, again, flagged from one to the other. And of course, I'm going to say this again. So I'm using my deeper, darker blue color. I'm coming into the lighter blue area gently. And then some people are going to like this stroke. Now, keep in mind, you can do any stroke you like. This has a little bit more of like a, even like a Van Gogh-ish feel, not to flatter myself, but meaning it has, if you like that, you can use this effect for all of the painting. So I'm just going in, and then I'm going to start smoothing out as I move further away using that deeper, darker blue color, which I want to get a little bit into that upper right corner. And then I'm coming around. As you get closer to the curtain, two things. One, it's again, if you go past that line of the curtain, it's still going to work out just fine, because when we go back to the curtain, you will be able to go over it. Or when you're working close to the curtain, you want to, as if you're making that full revolution, right? Because I'm going to come around like so, And with my next one, I'm not going to be able to come around fully, but I want to continue that circular motion as if I were coming around. Again, I want to keep, for me, I like that circular motion. Again, if you feel like you want to change it up a bit, make it more smooth, go for it. If you run out of the color that you made, I'm happy to hear that. And I'll tell you why. I like the idea of when you make it again, it's not going to be exactly the same. So it's going to give a nice feel to the sky that it's not one flat color. So when you make more, if your ratios are slightly different, that's good too. And when you're working with your brush, you want to work with what I'm calling a gentle touch. When I work with like teens and 20-year-olds, I can't even say to them, you know how like when you hold a pen and you hold it really hard, they don't even know what I'm talking about because they've barely ever held a pen. So when you're holding it almost like it could fall out of your hand. You want to have a gentle touch. You're not looking to hold it really, really hard. So I'm coming around again. I'm using that deeper, darker blue. Like so, continuing with my circular motion, getting nice and close to the curtain area. Lauren, what's up? Beautiful. Good. So far, so good.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay. When I made with a little dot of red at Cindy Martyr, it got too purple. So I went back to the blue, but I can't show it. I have a wallpaper and I don't know how to do this. I can't get it to be,
find you. Yeah.
I can't get it to be dark blue. A dark blue. It's a sky blue. And I'm trying to get it darker.
Did your brush have a lot of white? I don't know why it would have had white. Here's what I would suggest, Cindy. Wipe your brush on your paper towel.
Yeah.
And get out any of the white that might be in it. There probably wasn't a lot. I don't know why you have a sky blue. So what you're going to do is you're wiping your brush on your paper towel.
Right.
Then make a new pile of your blue with your touch of red, because maybe it touched the white when you were mixing or something.
It doesn't look so good. Okay, thank you.
If you hold your painting up right in front of your face, I think I'll be able to see it.
Do you?
Yeah. But yeah, exactly. Okay, it looks like you touched the white. If you wipe your brush off, that the paint dries quickly. So if I were you, what I would do is make your new pile of the red, the blue with the touch of red. But Cindy, start at the bottom now so that where you did already has a chance to get a little bit dry.
Okay, because you can't get it dark enough. Okay, I'm muting. Enough of me.
Okay.
That's just a problem.
Nikki, I think Jill has a question.
Absolutely.
I do. I think I did it the wrong way. I think I hold the canvas the wrong way when I did the thing.
Where are you, Jill? Jill, there's no such thing. Oh, I'm so happy you did, because you know what, Jill? Usually I do say that one can hold the canvas in either direction. And I actually didn't.
No, I did the same thing, Jill.
Okay.
Not struggling to get to the curtain.
Yeah. Okay.
There's no wrong or right, that's for sure. But I often make paintings like two ways so that people you could decide how you like it. It's not wrong at all.
Okay. But we should keep going till we get to the curtain.
Exactly.
But you're not going to be filling in the whole bottom when you're doing that, like.
It is. It's like looking out the window and seeing the sky outside.
Okay, so the Hanukkah is going to be like
on top of it. We're gonna move back.
Gotcha.
We get time to dry.
Gotcha.
I have a plan, Jill. I have a plan.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so I'm gonna.
Nikki?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Hi. That was my question. We're painting all the way down to the bottom of the canvas?
Correct. Exactly.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm continuing also. And Helene,
Yes,
You have your hand up.
yes.
Look at your work. It looks gorgeous.
Well, I'm also in the how far down, and I did not do the curtain large enough, but then I don't have curtains. So, so this is, you just keep going until you get to the bottom?
Yes, exactly. It's like this is the window. We're looking out the window. The Hanukkah is going to be here. Like we're inside, we're looking out, and we see the sky outside our window.
Okay, and the same blue, the blue with the red.
Right. We're going to go back. We're going to give it some highlights in a minute, but we're just going to start with that. And if you like the idea of that circular motion, you're going to continue with the circular motion.
All right.
Okay.
Wait, how far have you gone down? This is Susan.
Hi,
Oh,
Susan.
so keep going. So all the way
Exactly.
down then.
Right.
Okay.
We're going to get that sky in place.
We continue with the little bit of the red dot, the red paint.
Yeah, that's gonna keep it darker because again, like the sky is going to appear darker further. Yeah, I'm continuing with my darker blue. Continuing with that little roundedness. Once I move away from the moon, I'm switching off between using that narrow and the broad side, and you'll see the difference as you're working. The broad side just gives you that broader stroke. And then we're going to go back and we're going to give this highlights. I am going to give you time to get this in. In the meantime, hello, Lee Moore. How are you?
Good. I also did it sideways.
Good.
Almost there.
Love it. You're doing amazing.
Almost there.
Good. So far, so good. See, I like what happened to your moon. You know how I said sometimes it gets smaller? So your moon, the smaller it gets, it just the further away it kind of looks.
Right. Mine started small. So
okay.
When you said I did it, and then I listened to you and you said, and if it's bigger, it's okay. I'm like, well, it is what it is now.
Yeah, but when we go back with the smaller brush, by the time we get here, look, for me, this is already dry. So when we go back, if you want to make it bigger, you'll be able to.
Okay.
I know, major life decisions, but yes.
All good. I go with the flow.
Same.
As much as I am a type A person and I would have pulled out my ruler, I put that in the compartment aside for this.
Thank you. And I respect you type A'ers. Eileen, did you have your hand up? I feel like I'm like a principal. Eileen, I love what happened in your moon around the moon.
Yeah, I wanted to keep it lighter.
Good. Yeah, we're all going to go back and add that, but I like you have a nice it's well placed, like very, very pretty, really looks nighttime.
Thank
Beautiful.
You.
Good. A little while we're on the topic of liking what you did, when you are happy with something you see, stop. That means this is just like a lesson for life, I suppose. If you're happy, don't go mush it up and think you're going to make it even better. If you're happy, let it be. So Eileen, I love that. And when I talk about adding streaks into the sky, you may choose not to listen because you're great and you're happy with it. So it's just a good lesson in, not trying to mush it up.
Is her moon yellow?
Whose moon?
The one we just looked at.
Oh, Eileen's? No, I think Eileen kept her moon white, but we're all going to make those decisions when we go back when we go back into the moon, you're going to make a decision. Do you want to give it some of that bluish grayish feel, like a little cratery? Do you want to give it a little hint of yellow? We'll talk about how you can kind of make it your own. So I'm going to take a look at the gallery and see if brushes are still moving. It looks like we need another minute or two. Good. Sophia, what's up?
What do you think?
I just spotlighted you and then you.
What do you think?
I think that looks great. How do you feel about it?
All right, I want to definitely go.
Yeah, we're all
with
going to go
more.
back in. So
Yeah.
far, so good. This is the beginning and it looks great. Your curtain looks very intact, beautiful. Good. No, it has like a nice shape. I like it. Good. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so we have our sky in place. We spoke about the broad and the narrow side of the brush. Again, for those who have a lot of paint on your brush, you're just going to give it a gentle wipe on your paper towel. You're just going to give it a gentle wipe. You don't have to get all of the color out because we're still in the same family, but you're just going to give it a gentle wipe so that you don't have a ton of paint on your brush. Once you do that, I'm going in. I want to show you, just because I really mean a small amount when I say it. I'm taking a really, really dot of white at the tip of my brush. And even though I took a small amount, I'm still dabbing off the excess on the side of my plate. Again, I took a really small amount and I still dabbed it off because I'd rather go back for more when needed rather than use too much and then it kind of becomes messy. So I'm taking that really small amount of white, dabbing it on the side of my plate. And I'm now using the narrow side of the brush. I'm keeping the circular motion in mind, but I'm not making full circles. I'm making what I would call pieces of circle, right? So what I mean by that is I'm going to start close-ish to the moon, gentle touch with that small amount of paint. I'm not going back for more. And I'm just putting in a few, again, what I'm calling pieces of circle till my brush runs out of paint. Again, I took a tiny amount. I used white, narrow side of brush, and I put in a few little pieces of circle. I'm going to repeat all of this again. Once I have those pieces in place, same narrow side of brush, now I'm going to go back and just give it a very gentle blend. I'm not looking to lose it. I'm just looking to give it a little bit of a blend. So for those that were listening the first time and doing it the second time, I'm going to repeat it. I am taking a small amount of white on my brush. No matter how small I think I took, I am still dabbing the excess on the side of my plate because I'd rather go back for more than take too much. I'm now putting in, again, what I'm calling pieces of circle. I'm starting out close-ish to the moon with a very gentle touch. I'm not looking to make anything too organized or exact, meaning I don't want each piece to look like they separated from each other. I want them a little bit more scattered. Once I have those pieces of circle in place, smiley faces, if you want to call them, I'm going back again. Now my brush doesn't have any paint left on it with that narrow side, and I'm just giving it a very gentle blend to give it that nighttime sky streakiness feel. So I still see those whites, but now they're blended in, and now you can see how the moon, near them, closer to the moon, you're starting to feel that lightness again if you lost it. But again, like I think it was Eileen, right? If you were happy with what you had, don't go back and do more. We're going to do the same thing with some blues and dark blues, but now is when you're going to make the decision. How light do you like it? How light do you want it? Meaning, if you like this a lot and you want to artsy it up, right? Where it's not necessarily perfectly realistic, but it has a little bit of an exaggerated feel or something like that, go in and give it some more. If you like the idea of leaving those streaks more white rather than blended, also good. There are a lot of ways to do it. I'm just going to give you those ideas and you're going to do with it what you like. So Lauren, how's that working out? Oh, good. Beautiful. Oh, I saw you before. I know, I remember your sweatshirt. Must be karma that I called you again. Okay. Good. And Harriet? Let's see what's up with Harriet. If you hold it right in front of you, Harriet, chances are we'll be able to see it. Oh, wow. Love that.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Good. How do you feel about it?
I feel pretty good about it, I think.
Good.
It's not too realistic. It's a little realistic, but not completely, a little more
So that's
abstract.
what I'm saying. Like, it's a little, like, have fun with the realistic aspect. I love it. It looks great.
Thank you.
Good.
Oh, Susan,
What'd you say?
I think Susan is showing you hers.
Oh, Susan. Okay. Let's see. What's up?
Oh, yeah, I was showing
Yeah.
it. I was looking at myself, so.
Nice. You have, I don't know, something about your strokes. It has a little Van Gogh-esque, like those broad, thick, nice. Well done. Good. What do you think?
I guess, okay, I thought one little section ended up being darker towards the light and then lighter down, but that's fine.
So, but it looks like, I don't know, it looks like you put the whites in closer to the moon. So it looks like whatever, it looks corrected in quotes. If that, very pretty. Good. So far, so good.
I didn't realize, I'm sorry, Nikki, we had two Susans on and the other Susan is showing you hers as well. That's what I was, but she doesn't have a last name up. I'm sorry, Susan.
No, that's her. Well, I got you, Susan. Okay, let's see, Susan. Can you hold it back a drop further back, closer to you so I could see it better? Oh, nice. Oh, I like what you did with the colors too. Love that. See, again, I sometimes I see what other people do. I like that small moon. It looks like it's further away in the sky. Very pretty. What do you think, Susan?
Yeah, I like it far away. That's the way I see the moon from my apartment.
That's awesome. Okay. Love that. Thank you. Good. Okay. So once you have these highlights in place, take a look. In your darker area, what we're going to do is your brush likely doesn't have too much white on it. If it does, you can give your brush a little bit of a wipe. So now I'm going back with my plain blue, similar to what we just did with the white, meaning we added white closer to the moon to give it that brighter feel around the moon. And now in the darker part of the sky, I'm going back with my plain blue, my blue before I added any red to it. So similar to what we just did, or exactly the same, just with another color, I'm going to take a little bit of my blue, dab off the excess on the side of my plate, and I'm going into that darker area. It's just a little bit of a subtle shift, but it just gives it a little more depth. So again, I'm going in with that small amount of blue, narrow side of brush, following that circular motion, keeping in mind that I don't want everything sort of matchy or, like twins and triplets in real life are amazing, right? But twins and triplets for your streaks under your moon, right? You want to like give it a little, okay. And I see that Robin, you have your hand up, which is so polite. Hi, Robin.
Yeah, trying to be polite. And I'm having horrible internet problems because it's very stormy here. So I've lost you a couple times, but my dark, I got very purpley.
Okay.
And I kind of like it. I'm okay.
I was about to say, but do you like it? Yeah.
Yeah, but because I painted the wrong side. My curtain is very blue.
Your curtain doesn't have, I like what you did with the sky too. It has a different look. I love that. It's great. Yeah. So what do you mean the curtain got blue?
Because I
don't worry about
side,
that.
so-
I'm sure it's dry already. It dries in a second. You'll be able to go right over it.
Okay.
If you don't use the paint thick, it dries very quickly.
I think I'm very heavy with the paint. So
it's not like I didn't warn you, Robin.
I know you did. You did. I'm not a good listener. Sorry.
Me neither. You're in good company. Okay. Jane.
Hi, I'm Rachel.
Hi,
That's
Rachel.
Jane.
Nice to meet everyone. Wow. What do you have to say, Jane?
I'm liking it.
I'm liking it too.
Oh, nice.
That was great. Good. How do you feel, Rachel?
I feel like there's not a ton of depth in it, but
So what I would suggest, if you're asking me, are you asking me? Okay. So what I would suggest is that maybe I would go in again with a little more of those whites, a little bit further away. What I'm seeing is, and sometimes it's hard to tell, through the video, but I'm pretty, I've done it like a couple of hundred times. So what I'm seeing is everything is very full circled around the moon. You have none of these like pieces of circle that I'm talking about, like the streaks that give it, that's what's going to give it the depth. What you're doing is it's pretty, it looks good, but yes, I see what you're saying. It's kind of flat. It's flaggy, which is what I was talking about. You have one color, one color, one color, right? So I'm thinking of flags, how like they're in order colors. So what I would suggest is going back with that small amount of paint, giving it that little bit of what I call smiley face or pieces of circle, but not Rachel, I don't want to be negative, but what I would not do is not full circles around, pieces of circle. Okay. And then blend them in slightly. And Helene.
So
now what do you have to say, Helene?
Well, I'm happy. I'm fine. And I want to recommend Cabernet Sauvignon. Saint Chateau Michelle, Indian Wells from Costco. It's on sale. And it makes you very happy with what you're painting.
You know what? I could not have said it better myself. And you know what? Here's another little secret, Helene. No one else is listening. The more you drink, the better your painting's gonna look.
Absolutely. Better you sing. It's wonderful.
So Nikki, I know that I've had COVID all week. I can
Yes,
keep my
I was going to ask you. I didn't want
more.
to ask you in front of everyone how you are.
No. And I'm not complaining at all, except my head's going to fall off. I need to go lie down. So I'm going to thank you so much for being with us. I could tell right now, everybody's in very good hands. Thank you all for coming. And I wish you all a continued happy Hanukkah, happy and healthy New Year to everybody. And thank you for being with us.
Feel
I
better,
personally would
Grace.
like to thank you,
Grace.
Grace.
Grace. Feel better, babe.
Okay. Thank you, everybody.
And thank you for everyone. Grace was more than a pleasure to deal with. So thank you, and good to meet you face to face. Feel better.
Thank you.
Okay, so I guess COVID is still alive and well. Okay. So we have our streakiness in place. The next thing that we're going to do, if you want, I'm keeping my curtain in the whites, yellows, greens, blue family. If you think that you want to make your curtain other colors, meaning, let's just discuss, red and yellow is orange, red and blue is purple, yellow and blue is green. A lesser known fact, red, blue, and yellow make brown. So brown's a great color, but if brown is not what you're looking for, you don't want to use blue, yellow, and red on the same brush. Does that make sense? So why am I saying that? I'm just going to wipe my brush on my paper towel because I'm sticking with my whites, blues, and yellows, and I'll get green in there also. But if you're going to go into reds and purples, etc., then you might want to have water to wipe your brush, or you can also use one of the thinner brushes and wipe them off, etc. So I'm using my same brush, and I'm starting off, I wiped it off on my paper towel, and I'm starting with white only. And I'm going to go into that top area and the side, meaning the frame, like we spoke about before. So if you're washing your brush, just wash it and wipe it on your paper towel. If you don't want it to have that hint of blue in it, mine is going to have that hint of blue. So right now, again, I wiped my brush on my paper towel. I wiped it, nicely well. And I got the top, the side, and the bottom of my canvas to start. I'm going to wait for everyone to get that done, and then we'll move on.
Where do you recommend grabbing the thing while you're holding it up?
So while I did say that the paint does stain, it comes off your hands easily and quickly. But if you don't want, and it comes off your manicure, if that's an issue, I'm just saying. But also the blue side is going to be dry at this point. It dries quickly. So your sky side is likely dry if you were not very, very heavy with the paint. See, I can hold mine on the blue side. So if you don't want to get paint on your hands, you can hold it on the side that is already dry. How is it going, Judith?
Great.
Let's see, prove it. You're not ready to share, or you're not willing to share? We'll check back in. You're a work in progress.
It's good. They look beautiful. Good job. Beautiful.
You're here for moral support. You're a cheerleader. Okay, so once you get that side area, for me, again, I'm going to start with white only, with whatever hint of blue is left on my brush. And I'm coming down gently using that white, going back for more as needed. And I'm following the curve of the curtain. So it has like that little hint of the white and the blue. It almost gives it that drapey, not quite pleated, but folded feel. Again, I have a very small hint of blue on my brush, and I'm using my brush. I'm using it on the broad side, but you can see what feels right to you. And I'm coming down right next to, right where I made the space for the curtain. And I'm coming down following that line of the curtain, so it gives it that pleated feel, going back for more paint as needed. If you do this, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, you're going to lose that little hint of that fold. We can get it back, but that's why I'm suggesting that when you go back for more paint, you're taking that smaller amount and just going in gentle hand, and then you sort of create the folds in the curtain.
Just so you know, I said a very bad 4-letter word just now.
You said a bad 4-letter word?
Yes.
So maybe I would personally suggest you put a quarter in the swear jar. I mean, what else can you do?
I'm gonna have more Cabernet.
Okay, there you go.
I'm here for comic relief. It's okay.
I didn't realize that this was so heavy for the rest of the people. I'm sorry.
We're all these overachieving Jewish women, you know.
Yes.
I know, but this is supposed to be like the best stress you had all day.
Okay. Too much. Okay.
What do you think, Joanne?
I think it's
Love it. I love what happened around the moon. How do you feel about it? You stopped.
I like it.
Good. I love what's going on. That looks great. Good. Thank you for sharing. Okay, Nancy, before we move on to our next step, are you a sharer? No judgment to the people that aren't.
Sure, but I also did it the wrong direction. So I started
There is
another
no
one.
wrong direction.
There is no wrong
I don't know if you can see with the.
We can. You're holding it just right. Beautiful. Nice hazy sky going on. Well done.
Yeah.
Good. Love it. Okay, so now we have our curtain in place. We are going to switch. You are making decisions now. What I mean by that is I'm sticking with this brush, and I'll tell you what your options are. I'm sticking with this brush. I'm going to make a little bit of green on my plate, which is blue and yellow. And I had a little bit of white on my brush. I like it. I'm scraping off the excess on the side of my plate, because as I said, when I mix, I end up with a lot of paint on my brush. And I'm using that narrow side, and I'm just going in, following that curve with a little hint of those greens, like so. Again, I'm going to show you. I made green. I scraped off the excess on the side of my plate. I'm using the narrow side of the brush, and I'm very gently, gentle hands. I know I say it a lot, but I'm reminding you when I say it. I'm putting in just a few little greens running through, following the curve of the curtain. What your options are, of course, you can do a lot of different things. So I'm just going to show you, for example, if you decided that you wanted to go and make dots or flowers or whatever it is, I'm switching to my thin brush. And let's say I decide I want to go in with a very gentle touch and put in just like a few little red dots next to each other to create a flowery feel. You don't have to, they don't all have to be the same, because remember, there are going to be curves in the curtain, so they're not all going to show exactly the same, which is great for people that don't want to keep making the same thing over or feel that they can't. Again, I'm going in, this time I took red with a touch of white to pink it up, to give it a little more depth. And I'm just going in and giving it more of that curtainy feel. I know some of you just don't like curtains, and I'm so sorry. So you see what I'm doing? I'm putting in these little, I'm going to show you up close and personal. I did white with a touch of red on the same brush. I didn't mix them to make pink, but what I am doing is I'm just doing a few dots next to each other to create these flowers. So this is a flower idea. You can then go back if you choose to. I didn't even wash my brush. You want to put like a little dot of yellow in their centers just to give it some oomph. You certainly can. They don't all need them, because of course, the way the curtain is, you may not see the dot in the center on all of them. If anything I'm saying doesn't make sense, let me know. It makes sense to me, and I think I know it does make sense, but meaning if you're not following it because you haven't thought this way before, then I'm happy to say it again. So that's a flower idea. If you decide that you just want to do something fun or like more funky, let's say, I'm going to go in, let's say, with a little bit of orange, and I'm going to put in like a circle-y feel, and then I might put another one over here. These are two different ideas. I mean, obviously you can do half and half. I don't suggest it, but I'm just showing you two different ideas on the same curtain. Meaning, so some, you might see the full circle. Wow. So I made orange on my plate, which is red and yellow. And then I dipped my brush after I made the orange again into a dot of yellow, so that the color has a little bit more depth to it.
Nikki? No.
And
Nikki,
Yes.
I put too much green. How do I reduce that?
Let's see, Jeanette. 1 second. Let me get you up here.
And the green is from the yellow and the blue, right?
Yeah, and I just put a little bit too much. I was a little too heavy with the strokes. Can I do anything to fix
Here's
that?
what you're going to do. You're going to wipe your brush off, because your brush has green on it. So you can wipe it on your paper towel. You're going to give it like 2 minutes to settle, because if you keep going over it with the same color, or even with the white, you're going to keep that color. So the paint dries, like I said, very quickly, but it's not magic. So we'll give it a second, and then you'll go back with white only. Did you want it lighter green or just less green?
I wanted less.
So or if you have another paper towel handy, you can very gently give a wipe to the curtain itself, and it will dry faster.
Okay, thank you.
And then give it a minute, wipe your brush off, go back with white only, and you will lessen the green.
I can't seem to get an orange. I get a salmon.
Did you have white on your brush?
Nope, I used a brand new little brush.
Interesting. Does your yellow say bright yellow?
Does it say bright yellow? It looks like bright yellow.
Who's talking, just so I could find you?
Colleen Grants. Helene
Sorry,
Grant.
what is your name?
Helene Grant, the wino.
Oh. So Helene, I'm gonna suggest that possibly it actually is orange and you're just seeing things a little funny.
I don't think so. That's what happens with
Keep
love.
going.
Cabernet, not so much.
Okay, fine, Helene. Does your yellow say bright yellow?
Yes, it does.
And your red? Bright red or holiday red?
It says holiday red.
Yeah, it should be a fantastic orange. That's interesting.
I'm getting a salmon. I can show you if you like.
It's not like I don't believe you. I'm surprised to hear it. That's all. But I'm happy to see it. I mean, as far as I know, you have not lied to me before.
Oops. No, I don't lie, obviously. See, it's a salmon-y.
You know, your shirt looks just like your palette, minus the yellow.
Almost. Yeah. Yep, I thought about that. When you were talking about staining, I said, that's not going to be a problem for me. So,
Helene, when are we meeting for coffee?
Where do you live?
In New Jersey. Where do you live?
In Florida.
I'll come visit.
I'll be in New Jersey though in February. The end of January, beginning of February.
Okay, we'll paint together.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I'm sorry about the salmonness, but I can't
Okay.
I can't tell you exactly what happened. So I'm going to give you a minute to finish up on your curtains if you're going into like a design jazzy situation. For the rest of you, we're going to get right back to it. I'm just going to give one more little.
What if your curtain doesn't look anything like a curtain?
Well, who's talking so I can find you?
Robin, the unartistic one.
First, Robin, you
Yeah.
used to not be artistic.
No.
New
I've
day,
accepted it. Okay,
new day, new you. Can I see it so we can discuss it?
I'm enjoying it, but it doesn't look like a curtain.
Wait, Robin, let's get you on. Okay. Why doesn't it look like a curtain?
Well, it looks more like a curtain on the screen than it does in person.
Okay. We're not done. We're gonna put that ribbon piece, not ribbon, you know, the tie. So that might change it for you.
It's okay. It's okay. I don't care if it doesn't look like a curtain. I'm happy.
Okay, that's really mostly, well, everything matters, but yeah. Okay, so once you have your curtain done and in place, the next thing that we are going to do, we're going to put in that piece, it probably has a name. Does anyone know what it is?
Tie back.
Tie back?
Makes sense.
That makes sense. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in with my brush and I'm using the same color and I'm just putting in a small like rectangular brush stroke to put in that tie back. You're so right that that's what it's called. So the tie back for me is not going to have the design on it, but it's going to be the color of the curtain, which was white. Mine had a little touch of blue, a little touch
Show us how thick again?
So basically I'm using the narrow side of my brush and I'm just going sideways and it's going to be approximately one sideways pointer in thickness. Do you see what I mean? So it's a sideways pointer and I'm just using the narrow side. To put in the tie. If you like the idea of putting the design on the tie, if you did a design, go for it. Okay, once you are done with that, we are ready to move on to our Hanukkah, which I don't know about you guys. The Judaic article formerly known as the Menorah. I don't know. When I was little, everything it was called a Menorah. Now I understand that everyone was wrong for a long time. So the Hanukkah.
It's the rectangle square. that they're all menorah, but only one can be a Hanukkah. This is Helene again.
Lean, so share your wisdom with me. Why, what does it have to do with the rectangle?
Because it has to do with the fact that a square is a rectangle. So a
Right.
Hanukkah is a menorah, but not every menorah is a Hanukkah because of the number of candles.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, I feel like I might that also I think maybe the menorah was really something that was in the Beit HaMikdash, but the Chanukiah was the Hanukkah one.
Yes, very specific.
Okay, thank you. I learned something new today. Okay, before we move on, Nancy, you've been all quiet over there. How's it going?
Again, please. The tie
Takes
back.
me 10 minutes to unmute, 1 minute.
Wait, Nancy Britcher, how's it going?
Yeah.
I can't hear you. Are you able to unmute yourself?
Yeah. Doing very well. Thank you.
I'm glad to hear it. Are you willing to share your work with the people?
No.
I wasn't expecting that, Nancy.
No, I'm taking notes. I'm staying at my son's house, and I'm trying to be very quiet for my 18-year-old grandson so that he'll go to sleep. So that I decided to not take the actual paints out. I'm doing sketching on another piece so that I'll be all ready to go when I paint.
Love it. Okay, so hopefully you'll send me the finished copy.
Absolutely.
Okay, sounds good. And Deborah, before we move on, hello, Deborah.
Me? Hi.
Deborah Bruce, is that you?
Yep, I'm me. Hold on.
Do you think you were safe? Like, what'd you think?
Okay. Wait a minute.
You have to put it right in front of you if you have a screen thing.
I actually don't, but.
Oh, it's fuzzy, but looks very nice. Good for you. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it looks better in person than on my screen. I don't know why my screen is fuzzy, but some reason, I don't know why, but that's
okay.
Weird. But nope, I'm doing all right here.
Okay,
and
good.
I'm not drinking, so I'm doing okay.
Okay, well, nothing wrong with, both. Okay, so
this is Gilda. I don't know if you can see my name, and I don't know if you'd see my video because I'm on my iPhone. Can you see me? I'm going to wave.
I did. Yep, I sure can. I'm getting you up.
Okay,
I'm getting you up so
here.
everyone can see you. Let's get Gilda going on here.
I don't know if you can.
She did it sideways too.
Hold it back a drop would be easier to see it if you move it. Do you have a screen on?
No, it's just on my iPhone. My laptop isn't being fixed. So I don't know. I'm clear, but
I don't know why you're clear. So that's interesting.
I don't know. Wait, I'm going to hold it up differently. Oh, wait. I picked up.
Are you working on a different canvas?
Yeah.
Oh,
I had watercolors here at home.
Good for you.
So this is just paper.
Good. I love that. Well, it looks good. I love watercolors for like moonlit skies. It looks beautiful. You could really like get lights and darks going. Good. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Okay. So the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to start on our Hanukkah. So okay, we are going to start on our Hanukkah. So what we want to do is we want to keep in mind that the shamash is taller. We are understanding that we're putting the Hanukkah here and the table is here where we don't see it, right? So the Hanukkah is on our table. Our table is here. So we're seeing the branches of the Hanukkah, but we're not seeing the base of it. If you choose to add the base, go for it. I'm just doing what we suggested prior to meeting here tonight, what was chosen. So what we're going to do is I'm starting off with my very thin brush. And I'm actually going to start in white. And the reason I do that is so that you have a guide, and then we'll go back with some like yellow with a teeny tiny bit of red to make a golden color. If you prefer to make it more silvery, then we're going to use white with a teeny amount of black. It's going to be grayish, but it has like a little bit of a silver feel. So I'm going to start with white so that everyone's going to be able also to decide what they want after. So I'm taking white, and what I want to do is I want to just figure out here, right, from my curtain to the end, no matter which way you're holding your canvas, that I want to be able to have 4 on each side. So that's what, this is when you're going to use your skills. What I'm going to do is I want to kind of figure out where the halfway point is. So if this is like a pointer plus a thumb, everyone's is going to be slightly different because your curtains are going to be slightly different. So I'm going to eyeball it and I'm coming up. This is going to be my midpoint. I'm using my thinnest brush with white and I'm coming up a little bit above halfway because that's going to be the, you can make it even a little shorter. So we're going to come back to put in the candle. So about halfway-ish. That's going to be the shamash. So once you have the shamash in place where it's centered pretty much, now we're going to start a bit lower. And what we're going to do is we're going to put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, so that we know that we have our 8 lights. Again, we put in the branch that's going to hold our shamash after. If you want, you could give that a T so that it's more clear what's going on. And then we're eyeballing it that we want to have 4 for our 4 candles on each side.
That ruler.
You can make it a little more abstract. It doesn't have to be perfectly perfect. So you can have your candles on a slant, on a tilt. Well, then it won't be like exactly kosher, but like you can have fun with it. Let's put it that way. If you want to make it a little bit more abstract. Carol, how's it going, Carol? Oh, good. Great job on the lights. That looks great. Perfect. Okay, so once you have that in place, the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to bring those in towards the shamash. But what I want to show you is, so for the sample and the one that we started with, that we chose for this event, it's going, from each one perfectly like in that smiley face like that. If you want, you can have fun with it also. So I'm going to show you both. So if you want to watch both before you get started, you certainly can. If you know what you want to do, then go for it. What do I mean? I want to start from the center of this candle, candle number 4, I guess. And I'm bringing it across like so. I'm working from the candle, either direction, whichever is more comfortable for you. Some people are going to prefer to go from here to here. I prefer to go from the candle to the base, to the branch in the middle. If you want to have a little bit more fun with it, you don't have to stay super traditional like this, but what you can do is you can have this one connect to the 4th. You can have them sort of overlap each other if you choose to. Like you can mix it up and make it a little bit less traditional, so to speak. So again, I started off with white. I'm now going to go in and I'm just going to give it a touch more white, and it's going to dry quickly. I'm working with a small amount of paint. And I'm going to do the same thing to each of my branches. I'm just going to give them a little bit more. And we're doing this, again, we're giving it sort of like the base coat, right? Because when you go back with your color, it's on top of blue. Even though the blue is dry, we want to give it a base coat so that whatever color you choose to make your Hanukkah, it will be, the color will be sharper if you have white under it as your base. that you, Helene? Jeanette, how's your progress, Jeanette? Wow, oh la la. How do you
Getting
feel?
there.
Ooh, that's nice. Wow, I like that.
The Hanukkah was a little better when I started adding white, it got too thick.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
It's happening to me too.
That's why we
Somehow
start.
I got, as careful of as I've been, there's paint everywhere.
Well,
not on my clothes though.
All over my hands.
So glad
that
you
looks
said-
great. Good, thank you. And Jill, I'm checking in with you again. What do you have to say? Oh. Jill, what do you have to say about your work so far?
Okay, I'm happy with it, I guess.
Good, it looks good. Your menorahs, your Hanukkah is nice. Very, very well executed.
Okay, is the plane on time?
Yes, okay.
Okay, good.
So everybody's happy with the plane being on time.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you check mine?
Absolutely, Helene. Wait, let's see. So, Helene, talk to me. How's your
Yes.
work so far?
I think it's okay.
Okay.
Still working on the drapes.
I think it's more than okay.
Oh, I don't know how to, I wanted you to show me that. Oh, I see what you did. Okay. The tie back. Okay, got
I
it.
really just took you could use any brush, but it's really just a sideways rectangle. And I know it's not sideways, it's a rectangle, but you know what I mean. It's not the tall way, it's the sideways.
Horizontal.
Horizontal. From the root.
Teacher for 45 years.
Well, you must have been amazing because I will not say sideways ever again.
Horizontal and vertical, like the
Yeah.
horizon.
I know it has the same root. I know all about it. I know. I just
Sorry.
didn't know that you would know what I was talking about.
Oh, of course. I told you we're all overachieving Jewish women.
Well, that looks great. Very nice. Your moonlight, beautiful.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, so now that we have our Hanukkah in place, this is when you're going to again make major life decisions. One, if you wanted to have that silvery feel rather than a goldish feel, what I'm going to do is I'm taking white with a touch of black. Sorry, I myself did not think I was using black because I made mine gold, so I didn't take black. So I'm going to grab some black. And I'm making a little bit of a silvery color on my plate. I have white with a touch of black. So once I have my gray color, what I want to do is I still want to double load my brush. Remember, we spoke about double loading before. So I have that little bit of gray, but then I put a touch of white right on top of it. And the reason I did that again is because I don't want it to be a flat gray color. I want it to have some of those highlights where it looks like where the light is hitting it and the silver kind of looks white. That's how you're going to get that silver feel. So I'm going to show you what I mean. I'll start this on the right side of my Hanukkah, and then I'll do gold on the other side. So I have a grayish color with a touch of white, and I'm just going to go in with a gentle touch, and I'm going to take more white as needed to give it those little highlights. I'm not making it one flat color. I want it to have that white gray effect. Again, I'm going to go back for more white as needed with that little hint of gray to give it that silvery feel. So that's going to be my silver if you're going silver. If you want to give your branches any kind of design, like you know how some of them have like those bumps and stuff on them, you can do that. But I'm sure Helene knows the right word for those bumps. like so. So that's the right side, has a little bit of a silvery feel. If you want to go for the golden kind of color, I'm going to switch and I'm going to use yellow with the teeniest amount of red, really a dot, just to give it that golden feel. So I took yellow with a dot of red and an even less amount of blue. And I'll tell you why I'm saying it that way. We discussed that yellow, red, and blue, all three of them together get brown. So as you may imagine, if you make orange yellow with a small amount of orange, a lighter orange, and use a dot of blue, you're not going to go all the way to brown, but you're going to get a little bit of a golden feel. Same idea. I have that golden-ish color. I used yellow with red with a dot of blue. I mixed them. And now I'm double loading that with plain yellow. Same idea to get that gold feel. And I'm going to do the left side. Going back for more paint as needed. Like so. So you have two different sides. I'm doing it two different sides just so you can see it. One side is more of the silvery, one side is more of the gold. Of course, if anyone has any questions, let me know. And if you want to add any, what I would call interest to this, again, you can give the base a little bit of that bubbly, rounded feel. You know how sometimes those Hanukkah has like the curvy body.
Can you
Yeah.
explain the yellows, the left-hand side? It's yellow with a little bit of red. and
I'll show
then-
you. I'll do it on a plate so that you can see
Because
it.
when I tried to do it, mix it, it turned out to be more of an orange or something, or whatever.
So I'm going to show you. So I'm getting a new plate so I can show you more specifically. Okay, so I'm taking yellow. I'm
Okay.
taking a dot of red and I'm mixing those and I'm getting a light orange because I want to get a golden color. And then before, maybe a dot more red. And before we spoke about that red, yellow, and blue makes brown. So I don't want to go all the way to brown, but what I do want to do is get a little bit of the blue in it to give it a little bit of a more golden feel. So again, I'm taking such a tiny amount. Do you see the tiny amount of blue? I'm dipping it off so that I don't take too much. And then I'm mixing the rest into my yellow. Taking a little more so that I get, it's just like a tinge golden. It takes it from yellow. Do you see the difference?
Yeah, yeah.
So if you need help, show me yours because I'll be able to help you figure out what you need more of and what you
Okay,
can.
let me see. It takes a little bit, to work on it, but yeah.
You know, I know. That's what I'm saying. I'll be able to tell you, oh, you probably need a little bit more this or you need a little bit more that. If you want. And I'm giving if you choose to, you can give your Hanukkah some interest. I just did this in the base, just giving it a little bit. I'm going to wait till I see brushes stop moving to get to the next part. Marion, how are your pencils or your markers working out? Marion? Marion, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, you didn't answer. I didn't know if I was muted.
No, I'm just having, it looks awful because I think some of my pencils are dried out.
Okay, it happens. Do you want to show it or no?
I'm just giving myself a little notes to remind
Oh, good for you. That looks great. That
So
looks,
I've just
I mean, it's
written
markers. It doesn't have the
yellow,
same.
white, and a little bit of a red dot, and you said black to make sense silver.
If you want to do silver, it's white with black. Yes.
Yeah, I think I did that. I'm making notes for myself.
Okay, I love it.
Of all these pencils that are going in the garbage, they're all dried out.
Well, yeah. Jane, is your hand up? Rachel?
Hello, yes, I was wondering
Ooh la la.
what you thought.
I love it. It really looks like I know that Hanukkah. You know what I'm saying? I see that.
That's the one.
That's the one. Exactly. Lovely. That looks great. What do you think, Rachel?
I ended up, it's a little more orangey, so to me it looks a little more coppery than
Okay.
like or bronze like as opposed to a gold. I like it.
I kind of, again, I wish I thought of that. Bronze is great. Like copper's great. Why not? Beautiful.
I have the impressionistic.
I love it. Yeah, it looks very clear what it is. Your background's beautiful. Your Hanukkah standing tall and strong. I love that. Love
Thank
your
you.
sky. I love what you did to your curtain, Jane.
Oh, I had fun with the little flowers you told us to make.
Yes, I love what you did. You got them. They really look like they're like coming down the curve of the fabric.
Well, I've been watching a lot of mid-century modern like TV shows. It's on my brain.
You've gotten to put it to use. Wow. Win, score. Okay. And Jill, we're checking in with you before we move on, and then we are moving on.
It's still charging.
Well, that's nice.
Taking a picture of you, Jill. Can you hold that up?
Okay.
You could smile. Okay, good. Yours also. I know that Hanukkah. Do you know what I mean when I say that there are certain ones that are like, they've been around?
It's the one you get for your bat mitzvah.
Exactly. That's why we all know it. Yes, exactly. Okay, so the next part, we're going to have a little fun with making our candles. By that, I mean, you're going to decide, are you using those different color candles or are your candles going to be the same color? You're going to make that decision. I'm switching to my medium brush, the one that has the flat top. Why am I switching to this one? Because for me, sorry, I'm tripping here. Because for me, the width of the candle is going to be just the width of this brush when you're using it on its broad side, right? I mean, I didn't put paint on my, I'm going to put a little dot. You're going to decide on the colors. You can either wash it or just wipe it in between colors. And similar to what we did with the Hanukkah, if you want the colors to really, really show, you can start off with a touch of white. And what I mean is I'm just putting in my candles. They are one short stroke of exactly the size of this brush. Again, I'm moving around. I'm going to add color to them, but I'm doing this to start so that when I put the color on, you see I'm using such a small amount of paint that I have not even reloaded. So I'm putting in my candles. You can make them taller if you like those tall candles. I'm going to show you one there. You can make them taller than that, whichever. Here, let me get a little more paint. So you can make your candles, the tall candles, you can keep them shorter, however you like whatever you use, etc. So I'm actually kind of liking the tall one a little more now. So I'm going to use that same brush, just one stroke. I'm just making them a little taller. Like so. And again, I'm using the width or the broad side of this brush, one stroke down for me. I'm not overloading with white because I want to go back with color. It dries quickly. I just used a little hint just again to give it that base coat.
You have the one that burns down much faster than all the other ones.
Exactly. Well, Julia, are you ready to share? You look like, did you paint the stuff in your background? Love it. How do you feel about your work?
Good. I had to go back in with some blue because my branches started running together. So.
Oh, yeah, that happens. Yeah, I like what you have going on behind you. Is that like a Van Gogh something?
No.
I mean, I know it's not a real Van Gogh. I didn't think. Like, you know. Okay, good. Looking good. So once you have your candles in place, you are going to decide on the colors. Remember, keeping in mind, red and blue is purple, yellow and red is orange, blue and yellow is green. If you add a little white, you're going to get a lighter version of that color. Pink is red with white. You can mix those up or just use them together. I'm going to go in. I just made a little bit of purple. So I'm going to make candle number 1 have a purpley feel. Candle number 2, I'm just going right over it. I didn't wash or wipe my brush. And I'm going to move around and give another one a red one. And if you move into another color, you may want to wipe your brush off. A little bit of yellow. Going to go back to that green I made before for the curtain. Some green. Hi, Debbie. How are you?
I'm enjoying. I'm having a great
Good.
time watching.
Are you painting?
No,
Oh, okay. Nice to meet you.
I am sipping.
Well, you know what? You're making very good choices.
I'm just having a great time watching my best friends in the world have a good time.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for joining. I didn't know if I missed your camera or did you just turn it on?
I've been on and off. I want to introduce myself. I'm the international president of Women's League. And I
Nice
want to
to
thank
meet
you
you.
for your program.
Thank
So
you. Thanks for inviting me to paint with you.
we were on at the beginning and we lit candles together and sang songs. And then I was off for a little while and back on.
Okay. Nice to meet you. I'm glad I noticed that you just came back. I said at the beginning, I was sorry that I missed I thought the program started 7:30 and that I was painting like a little bit after. I didn't realize. So,
well, we do it every year. So you'll join us next year.
Sounds good. I love that. These are some of my favorite holiday songs. The whole.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you. Okay. Okay. Cindy, we haven't seen you in a while. You're muted. I see that you're talking, but I don't hear you.
How do I do that? What?
Now you're good. You got it.
Okay, so here,
Put it right in front of you oh, Cindy. Look at you. I love what you did in the middle. You got so fancy. It looks like those silver menorahs.
right, but I didn't know. See, I can dabble up with watercolor much better. But this is, I don't even never paint it with acrylic. I do watercolors sometimes. So it was hard. Watercolor's more forgiving.
I'm going to say yes and no.
Yeah. But
These
so
you
I,
can go over. Watercolors you can't really go over once you've
right,
done.
and I was afraid to change the color, so I just was said, and I didn't know my blue never got dark enough, but it's fine.
Interesting, interesting. That I can't. I like that has
So
to
that
probably
was
be
different,
the-
but it's lovely. I mean, I could show it to my grandkids. I'd be proud to pass it on.
Yeah, but I love what
Grandma
you did.
made
You really
this.
got a very nice silver quality to it.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Love that. Love it. Did
I
you
think it's
use
okay.
water with these paints?
Did I use water with them?
Yeah.
No, I just used
Oh,
it straight.
okay. Beautiful.
No.
Well done. Thank you for sharing. And before we add our flames, let's just check in on Eileen.
Hello.
Hello.
Oops, can you see it?
Sure
It's
can.
beautiful.
Can you move it to your
Oh,
left?
I have to mute.
Your curtain's beautiful.
Yes,
That
thank
looks
you.
great.
But I scraped my sweater on it, so I have to fix it a little bit.
Oh,
But that's okay. It's almost all fixed.
good. I love you got such nice folds in the curtain.
Thank you.
Very well done. Beautiful. And Ellen, before we add our Ellen.
Hold on. Okay, here we go.
Are you going to share a little bit about how you feel about your work, Ellen?
I feel all right. You know, it was just you caught me off guard right at the beginning.
I'm sorry
So-
to do that. I did not mean to do that.
It's
Beautiful.
all right.
By the way,
I didn't stop me.
I love what you have going on. Your curtain, like, that's gorgeous. The menorah. You got nice shading going on in the menorah. It does not go unnoticed.
Thank you.
So pretty. Okay, we are ready for our flames. Okay, so if your thin brush has other colors on it, either wipe it well on your paper towel, or you can wash it, rinse it quickly, and wipe it on your paper towel. And I'm going to start off with some yellow. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you as many times as you like. In fact, I'm going to show you at least 9 times. We are going to do what I'm going to call like a smiley face sideways meets a smiley face. Keep it small. And then it's going to have a little jupe at the top. And then I'm going to fill it in. Let me show you again so that you get the idea of what I mean. I started off again, smiley face, sideways, smiley face, sideways, and then it has a little tip at the top. And then I'm going to fill it in. So that's giving you that flame feel. Again, for those that want to see this again, smiley face, meet smiley face. You can fill it in first and add that little tip at the top. Smile, smile, tip. Keeping it on the smaller side. Like so. And then you have your flames. We're going to add a little bit of red to them after, just a little hint in that center bit. If anyone needs to hear that again, of course, let me know. Susan, what's going on? Susan Winter, and then we'll find the Susan without a last name.
Here's the other one.
Wow, very nice. What do you think, Susan?
It's okay. I guess it's okay. I was looking if it was a little imbalanced, but it's not. It's okay.
No, it's very nice, very nice, very nice. I told you before, your sky, your moon, like it has that Van Gogh stroke. Very nice.
Thank you.
Good.
Thanks.
Is our other Susan still on?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, here you are, Susan.
I don't know what my cat is.
I love what you did with the Hanukkah.
It's a stormy night.
Okay.
So it looks like it's being, being blown away.
I love that.
And my cat his paws went all over the paint palette.
So it's a joint effort.
Absolutely.
Love that. Good. Okay. So once you have your flames in place, thank you, Susan, looking good. Once you have your flames in place, the next thing that we are going to do is we are just going to take, before we add that, actually, excuse me, before we add the little bit of orange, while we have yellow on our brush, for those that want to add a little hint of yellow to their moon, I'm going to show you how that's going to work. You're just going to go in with this teeny tiny amount, and nothing too, for me, nothing too organized, nothing too exact. I'm just putting in a little hint around the perimeter, but I'm not over yellowing it. Again, I'm putting in a little hint around the perimeter, but it's not going to be super organized or exact, meaning I just wanted to have that little hint. If you want more, go for it. The other option, which I'm going to show you on the sample, I left it without. The other option is,
question. What if our moon got too small?
if your moon got too small, what you can do is you can go back with a clean brush, or if you want the whole thing, would be probably a clean brush, and you can go in with white, fill the whole thing in with white, and then you'll be able to make it bigger. Again, like a base coat, and then the second coat will give it better coverage. But you're going to let it dry in between. So your options for your moon, teensy tiny bit of yellow peeking through in that moon, or what you might like is, if you want to use your the medium brush and you want to take a little bit of white with a very, very, very tiny amount of blue, white with a tiny amount of blue, and you can just use the flat part of the brush. And again, around the perimeter almost, but nothing even or exact. I'm going in with that white, with that touch of blue. Now I'm going to go back with white only because I already have a hint of blue. And you see, I'm just putting in like a dabby dotty motion to give it some of that cratery feel of the way that the moon looks like it would feel. Again, I'm dabbing and dotting white with a teensy tiny amount of blue. So I'm going to show you now the two different moon ideas. You have this white with this little hint of blue running through, or the little hint of yellow.
And which brush did you use, or it doesn't matter? Or?
So it doesn't really matter. For the yellow, I used the very thin one. For this, I used the flat topped one, and I used it on its sort of what I would call flat side. I don't know if you saw, I'll show you again. I used it with that little bit flat.
Oh, okay.
Just like that, to give it this cratery type of feel. Once you have that moon in place, I'm going to stay on. I'm just going to show the last step because I know it's over at 9. So I don't want to keep anyone who doesn't want to be kept. So the final step in the flames is, if you're going to be using that very, very, very thin brush, and you have that yellow, and you're now taking the teeniest, tiniest amount of red. Oh, this is the sample. I did it already. Inside the flame, you're just going in with like right in that center bit closest to where the candle is, where the flame is coming out of. You're just going in with like this little teeny little bit of red inside. Again, teeny tiny amount. You're just going into that center area of the flame with that little bit of red. If it gets too red, you can go over it with a hint of yellow to orange it up. And when you are done, when you are happy, when you are satisfied, you are going to sign your work. That means you're going to sign your name, typically in the lower right. You can put it wherever you want, though. Put your name, your initials, whatever you decide. And let's see, is there anyone who would like to share theirs when they're done with the rest of the community? Let's see, who is that? Sophia, I would love to see.
You see it? Right.
I sure do. Ooh la la, check you out. Wait, let me get rid of me. I want to see your curtain.
I put little black dots and a
I
black
see.
side. Yeah.
Sophia, that looks awesome. How do you feel about it? You got
Good.
very, very good flames. It's not so easy.
I tried.
That looks great. Love the shape of the Hanukkah. Can you hold it a little to your left, your painting, so I could see you and your painting?
Like this.
Perfect. Love the smile. Very well done. That's such a nice idea what you did with the curtain. See, I'm getting a lot of good ideas here. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else?
Thank you.
Oh, Robin. Robin, were you the one at the beginning that was iffy? Was that you?
Yes.
If I remember correctly, Robin, when we first started out,
I'm not an artist.
you used to not be an artist.
I feel like one tonight. Thank you.
Oh, I love that, Robin. That looks great. That's so pretty. You got a nice, your flames have like a real lit up quality. Job.
Oh, no,
You love your curtain? Is your
Wait,
curtain?
you know what? Now it looks like a curtain once we put the tie back in.
Yeah, I agree.
And
You know what? You
it's-
did something for me. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I have to say this. It almost feels like suede. That's not easy to do. No, I'm serious. Like it has like a real, like you feel it quality.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of purple in it instead of blue. And I think I'm going to take some of the white out of my moon, but otherwise I'm very happy.
Okay, good. I'm so happy too. Love that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jane, Rachel, what's up? Oh, wow. Did you add wax stripping, Rachel?
So yeah, a little bit.
Love that. Are you giving permission to anyone to copy you if they choose to?
By all means, please do.
I love that, the wax. You know what? You were also a little skeptical at the beginning. I know you were.
Thank you.
Love that. Beautiful.
Thank you.
And Jane, how about you?
Oh, I'm still just, was still working a little bit, but.
Very pretty also. Oh, I still love your curtain. Oh, you're adding a little interest to the Hanukkah. I love that.
It needed a little.
I hear you. I agree. You got, it looks like the light is hitting it wherever you put like that little hint of white into the branches of the Hanukkah. Very nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Pretty.
Thank you for this evening. It was wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Lots of fun.
Thank you. I see Jeanette's hand up. Hello, Jeanette.
I had to paint over my moon again. When I did what you suggested, it got a little messed up. What did you say that we could do to add texture to the moon?
What did you like? The yellowy or the more bluish grayish feel?
The more bluish grayish.
Okay, so what I did
Because there's a lot of yellow in my menorah, so.
That's fine. You don't have to explain yourself. Okay, so we're taking white on our brush with a very, very tiny amount of blue.
Which brush?
The flat topped one.
Okay. White with a tiny amount of blue. Okay.
And then what we're going to do is we are going to dab and dot using the flat part of the brush. Nothing too organized, nothing too exact. We're going to go back for more paint as needed. So you're not going to overload your brush. You're going to use the white with a very small amount of blue. And then you're getting that cratery feel by doing the back and forth with it. You know,
Thank you.
Body. Thank you. Of course. Okay. Eileen, what's up?
Thought I'd share.
I love that. That looks great.
Beautiful.
You also, the flames are pretty. You know what? The reason why I keep commenting on the flames, sometimes when I do paintings that have candles with flames, for some reason, there are times that people just have a difficult time with the flames. They're so far, they're looking great. Thank you. Lee Moore, I know your hand's not up, but, oh, was it? Hi.
I just wanted to show you mine because I have to go. Hold on, let me see where we are. Here we go.
What do you think of it?
I love it.
I love it too. Can I take your picture? Smile.
Sure. Even though, well, hold on, let me.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, can you please take your pony out?
Wow. And I changed my shirt, but that's okay. You can't see my shirt, so it's okay.
Love it. Good. That looks great. Where are you hanging it? I see a space right behind you.
Maybe I made the curtain teal so I could hang it in my living room because my living room is teal.
Okay, I love that.
So,
Thank you.
all right. Thank you, everyone. Have a happy Hanukkah. And Nikki, thank you so much. This was awesome.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank
Limor.
Same to you.
Helene. Ooh la la.
Beautiful.
I don't like my flame, so I think you're right. And I really like what it was Jane's iPad, but I don't know who that was. Fabulous Hanukkah. Just the design on the bottom. I tried to do that, but this and surgery are not for me.
Helene.
My hand is not steady enough.
Did you enjoy yourself?
Absolutely. I'm
Well,
here. I'm still here, and I'm going to go back and play some more. But
I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you for adding some light to the event.
And thank you so much. It's just delightful. You are wonderful.
Thank
you so much.
Let's check in on Joanne. Joanne.
Okay, here we go.
Well, I love the base of your menorah, the mid piece. I love your colorful candles. Love that. What do you have to say?
You know, I'm not so great with arts and crafts, but I love this. Like, I would do it again.
Good. I love that. That's great. That's great. It's the first time, you know, if we would start over now, you'd be like, oh, I'll do this. I'll do, like, it becomes more natural more often that you do these things. It looks beautiful.
Thank you.
Jane, is your hand up again, or is that you didn't get rid of it before?
No. Our fault. We're good. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Okay. So is there anyone else that wants to share before we?
I'll share it for the last time.
Okay, Susan.
No.
Love that. I love the shape of that one. I saw one other. It has like that angle. That looks really nice.
Thank you.
Oh, can you wait? Hold it up one more second. I didn't get your picture.
Can we do, maybe Karen can get a screenshot if everybody holds hers up at the same time?
That's a good idea, Julia.
Gallery view. Karen, can you grab a screenshot on that?
Yes, I could do that, but just let me put a gallery view and everybody could hold it up and I'll.
That's like the one by my synagogue.
I think I have birds flying across my moon instead of craters.
Okay.
You know, it's funny, they all look the same.
Debbie, mine does not look like anybody else's. Take my word for it. Fancy.
Where are you, Nancy? I can't find you.
Okay, I've taken it.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
Yes,
know where
it
I am.
does. Yes, it does.
It doesn't.
It does.
That's okay.
Are we holding things up for photos or?
Yes. She said she got it.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Very nice.
I think I have birds across my moon too.
That's what mine looks like. It doesn't look like craters.
No. Thank you again, all. Have a very, very
Thank you.
Nikki, thank you. This was
all.
fun.
If you are Instagram or Facebook people, you'll see yourselves later. Instagram, it's at Paint With Me Inc. On Facebook, it's Paint With Me. I want to thank all of you for coming. I know that,
Grace.
Grace, thank you. Grace, thank you. Grace is not feeling well, but she was amazing and like super great to work with. So thank you everyone for coming. Have a great rest of Hanukkah and have a good night.
Thank you.
Nikki, thank you.
Thank you
Thank you
so
very
much.
Thank you so much. It was a wonderful program. I know everybody enjoyed it, and we really appreciate that you just hung in there with us. You know,
I love it too. I feel fortunate. I never like, I have to work. I love it every time. So
where do you live, Nikki? Where are you from?
in New Jersey. I live in New Jersey.
In New Jersey. North, central, south?
North on Teaneck.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. How about you?
We have a great sisterhood near there if you'd like to join.
Okay, we could discuss, absolutely. Yeah.
I'll
Nikki,
send you
do
the
you-
info.
Nikki, this is Ellen. Do you do larger courses like with Jewish objects and things like this? Do you do extended more than one night?
I do a lot of different things. I do a lot of corporate events where there's a lot of people. I do a lot of different different options. I do even for mail away kits. I do a bunch of different things. I don't know exactly what you're talking about, meaning what your project would be, but yes.
Just over an extended period of time. If you were, this is one night,
I
and
mean, if I
anybody
do
who
like
knows
a
me on here knows what
four
I'm thinking.
segment,
Yeah,
a 4-part series on Zoom.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, once COVID hit, I started, this is how I became Zoom friendly. I do courses also, yeah. But usually the way it works is someone comes to me that wants to do it. I don't-
Something.
Yeah.
And you figure it out what would work. Okay.
No,
All right,
everything
and Grace,
works, but yeah. No.
Grace
Yeah.
knows how to reach you.
Yes, exactly.
And we have the cards. The cards came in the
Yes.
Okay. Thank
Nikki,
you.
what are we washing the brushes with?
Oh, that's such a good question. You're just washing them with water and you're just sort of like poking them in the water, changing the water till it runs clear,
Okay.
and then dry them flat.
And you promise it's going to come off our hands?
I promise that my hands look like this every day after I paint, and when I it does not look like this.
Jeanette, if you lived up north, you could wear gloves till the paint wore off, you know?
Yeah, well, we're going to have a little cold
We're gonna be
weather
wearing
this
gloves.
weekend.
I heard it's getting very cold this weekend here.
You have to remember, our blood's very thin, Debbie, and we will be wearing gloves.
You realize we normally use our heated seats just to massage or relax our muscles, but we will be using our heated seats on Monday morning, I can assure you.
Yeah.
In the car.
Debbie, where do you live?
I'm in Scottsdale, Arizona. Where
Wow.
it was
You're not
68
gonna
today.
need gloves, right?
Yeah, and Ellen's in Arizona also.
Oh, wow. Okay. What about you, Jeanette? You said you need your gloves.
Oh, no, I was joking that we would need them Monday morning. I'm in South Florida.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's why I said to her.
I was complaining that I was hot and sweaty today, so.
And tomorrow, it's supposed to be in the 80s.
Yeah.
Not here. I hear it's
This
getting
was
very
fun.
cool.
I gotta go.
Thank
Happy
you guys.
Hanukkah,
Good night.
everyone.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Did Julia leave? Julia, you're gonna hang your picture right under the other ones, right? Right behind you?
Right next to the other one. There'll be, you know, the people that change out all their decorations for every holiday.
I think that's what we need to do. So now we should do one for Purim, for Passover.
Well,
Keep
that's
going.
kind of what I was thinking, is something like that, as you know the way
She
my
was
mind works.
great. She was terrific. She really was.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see us do something a little more
Yeah.
extended. Yeah.
Okay. Or what we could do is all take a photo and then that could be our Macomb background for.
I actually did take the screenshot if you wanted. I took it on my camera, on my phone. So, but you know what, Julia? If you like that idea, maybe you should tell the next president.
We'll tell her.
I'll do that.
By the way, Julia, I love you here. Debbie, I think you should, once you took the photo, I think you should have that as your background tomorrow, since we're celebrating Hanukkah.
She didn't paint. She didn't paint, Nancy.
I'm not that, that's
She
not my.
did not paint.
I'm not creative like that. That's, I'm creative like with other things, but I don't paint. I don't paint and I don't sing. My sister does both.
That's why it looks the way it does.
So, yeah, that's not my
Anyway.
thing. So, but
Have a good night.
I enjoyed sitting here sipping.
Nancy, we took an art class together, and she hasn't recovered yet since the teacher told her she really wasn't all that talented.
Actually, my trivet was beautiful. I did a nice job.
Yeah, okay, fine, whatever you think is fine.
I flunked out in camp though, so forget it.
No, it's just not anything I ever really, I can't trust.
I still love it, and as one of my coworkers would tell you, Miss Nancy, when I worked in the preschool, loved to get dirty. So.
All right. Everybody
Chag
have a good
Sameach.
night and happy holiday, Chag Sameach. I'll see some of you on Makom Biachad tomorrow. I don't know that I'm actually going to be there. I think I have an appointment that's going to run over, so we'll see.
Julia, do we need to
Oh, wait,
talk?
tomorrow's Friday.
Tomorrow's Friday.
Tomorrow's Friday.
I gotta practice. Goodbye.
At some
Why,
point.
what are you doing?
It's a surprise.
Oh,
I'm in the whatever, but yeah,
The
it's
Macomb Players?
a player.
the Latka Palooza.
But it's hard because I have to really know that I'm just playing this part. That's all I'm gonna hint.
By the way, the recording's still on.